Crypto Billionaire 69. We're back with another in-depth daily Dogelon's technical analysis. Let's get straight into the charts, boys. Candlesticks are holding. Support is holding, as we can see. Stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to go over the overall market, Ethereum and Bitcoin, to see what we're looking at right now. So, currently, we are maintaining levels of support at these 12s, almost to the T, actually. If we zoom out a tad bit, we can see we're hitting these consolidation support zones from the past October 5th, 2024. Most likely we'll probably come back down and retest this again to establish a meaningful level of support as we've seen in the past. Boom. Before it moves higher, if we're looking for a move higher, if we're looking for a move lower, it will just break these lows and continue to move back down to these 10s. So we will watch and wait. However, this week was crazy, guys. Now, currently, not to brag or anything, but I was trading Tesla options, and while everyone's things were dumping, we made a good 30% this week on the portfolio. That was super, super dope. So I'm going out to celebrate tonight. I suggest you guys do the same. If you had a good or a bad week, it's always good because you learn. So, yeah, we're hitting these meaningful levels of support. We're going to wait for this breakout above these 13s, and we need to see it hold above this trend line here and also break through the 1350s and a bunch of other resistance levels. But the biggest thing, we want to see another push to the upside, a green candle, something like this, pushing through this 12.92.13 level. Moving into next week, okay? Because if the red continues to happen next week, that means it could get a lot worse next week, right? I do believe it will recover soon. However, it could have a little more red moving into next week, especially with the whole fall off of the stock market, the Dow, everything's going on. But there is hope on the horizon. So keep that in mind. A bunch of people are super fearful right now, not even considering buying Dogelon Mars when this is the time where they should be like, holy crap, these levels are insane. And yeah, do you guys think we have even started the Bitcoin cycle to the next move? Leave it in the comment section. I think our next level is this 148 right up here. I think that's where we're headed once we catch support and the economy stabilized and whatnot. Now let's check on Ethereum. We saw Bitcoin pump, but Ethereum didn't hit all-time highs, which was very odd to see, but that is another thesis to why we haven't even started the next cycle yet. And if you look at Ethereum, these are the daily candles, all the way down at like $84, but we're literally coming back down to the middle of this consolidation range. If you guys followed the other last videos, you should be able to spot a consolidation. Now you want to pick the top with the most levels of support, the bottom also with the most levels of support, and then move it into the middle, because that is where the price likes to stick around most of the time until it breaks through either the top or the bottom. Then it will make a new consolidation. However, we are below this break even, or not break even, but middle level of the consolidation, which indicates if you're bullish, these are good buying opportunities. Of course, not financial advice, crypto being your opinion, but as we see in the past, it likes to move back up to this level. And if I were looking for the absolute best entry, this is what I think, this is my prediction for next week. Now, I am wrong sometimes, but I'm also right a lot of the time. So take this with a grain of salt. However, I do think we'll see some red, whether it's over the weekend, after hours, or early next week. And then I think we'll start to hit support and reverse and go back, start going back up mid next week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll see some red until then. unless some new pieces of news come out, of course. But yeah, so if we do see something like that, we will come back down to these levels if we continue to see red. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and draw this trend line out and see where, if it were completely respectful of these levels, where would it end? Yeah. So you see this trend line, it broke through, it came back up, retested it, and it's continuing to drop. Our next level of meaningful support is around these 1555 levels on Ethereum. And Ethereum matters too because the native chain to Dogelon Mars is, of course, the ETH chain, although you can get it on pretty much every chain now. If Ethereum pumps and breaks all-time highs, that is really what's going to take this thing off. Now, Bitcoin is also important because it moves Ethereum in the overall market as well, but keep that in mind. The general thesis is we'll see a little bit more red, and then we should start hitting support maybe mid next week. But until then, stay strong and keep your mind open because these are great buy opportunities, baby. Crypto being season 9, not financial advice. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section. And what else can we go over? Let me think. We can go over the Dow. So you guys, if you don't know the thesis yet, a bunch of people are losing their crap right now. And it could get really bad. We're down 5% just today on the Dow. Now, I told you guys last Wednesday or Thursday, I explained to you guys the real estate. I posted a real estate video and kind of explained this whole thing, but the past 5 days we're down 8% on the Dow. Everyone with 401ks right now is pooping themselves. So we have two options really. Next week we continue to see more red and we start to bounce, or we continue to see more red and people get super scared and sell their entire freaking bags. So we're moving into a crucial point in our economy for the past, let's just say, for the past year, maybe even 5 years. So think about it. Look at this huge drop, but keep in mind, every time we see a huge drop like this, we also see a massive recovery. This was 2020. We are almost, literally, think about this. We are almost halfway to the 2020 crash of COVID, the flash crash or whatever you want to call it. And we're almost halfway of the last dip in 2022. Same thing with all the way back in 2008. Relative, right? Look how big that is. It's almost as big as the 2008 crash so far. So people are pooping themselves, but at the same time, people are super, super, super excited because every time we see a crash like this, everything is so cheap and you can get rich for the next year. So buy and hold. This is the time where I would say continue to average into all the asset classes you love. For me, that's Tesla, Dogelon Mars. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really need. But for you, it could be Microsoft, Apple. It could be real estate, REITs, which have high cash and low margins or whatever, like low debt. Because with this crash, they're going to be able to buy up so much real estate. They'll be able to double their entire portfolio within a couple of years after we see a recovery. So look into, I think they're called real estate investment trusts or something like that. A company that buys a bunch of real estate. I think Vanguard does it. I think BlackRock does it. All of that. But you can't invest in BlackRock, of course. But there are Vanguard ETFs if you're on the low risk side. There's also individual companies. You definitely do your own research on all this, of course, and figure out which company has the best cash, the lowest amount of debt, and can hold off on their debt based on their cash reserves for the next 3-4 years without making a single penny. If you can find something like that, do your research. And it's low right now because the real estate market's kind of dumping insanely right now. That would be a good long-term buy, something like that. You can look up, I don't even know what you would look up. I know what I would look up. If I was looking for a nice, safe, long-term real estate investment, you can always buy houses and stuff like that, but that's besides the point. I would look up like publicly traded companies that uh, buy real estate and manage what's it called? Sorry guys. It's not commercial real estate, but residential real estate. That's what I look up. And then just go through the list and look at their balance sheets in their last annual report. And from that, you'll be able to tell if they have 3 times the amount of cash of their debt and they can hold off for the next couple of years. Yeah, I'm not going to do all that work right now. If you want me to do that work for you, shoot me an email. I could probably look into something like that for you guys who need help with that type of stuff. But keep in mind, a bunch of people are freaking out. I'm surprised the fear isn't lower yet. That's why I think we could see some more red, because with the Dow Jones and the overall market dropping almost halfway, if not more than halfway, of the 2020 crash and 2008 right now. People are just now seeing this. Of course, we moved down 5% just today. So it's kind of arising in people's minds that this is a very crucial point. A lot of people are about to get rich, but a lot of people are about to lose their stuff, especially if they bought in within the last couple of years. But keep in mind, most people who've been holding a long time, they're in profits right now, and they're just seeing a massive dip. Now, a lot of people will pull out debt on their stock investments and stuff like that. And that's where, emotions start to take over and we can start to see a crash. Because if they're down 20% and they're still in debt from taking a loan out on their stock portfolios, they're like, if this drops anymore, like, I literally can't pay this off the rest of my life. But if I work the next 5 years, I'll be able to pay off this 20%. So that's where it kind of gets crazy, is when people are over leveraged. It moves into more than just real estate, as we were talking about before. Like people who buy multiple houses and get home equity line and buy another one, and FHA loan, first home buyers. A bunch of people are doing that right now. They buy one house, pull out a loan, use the first house as collateral, and just keep doing that over like 4 or 5 years. So, and they have like 5, 8 houses right now. That's who's really getting screwed right now, because they're going to have to drop rents, and housing prices are going to drop. A bunch of stuff's going to drop. But then on the adverse side of that, you have people who have their 401ks also took out loans from the 401ks, because they were literally at all-time highs just in January this year, and everything was super optimistic. So, I mean, a lot of people have pulled out a lot of money and are really leveraged right now. And that's why we're seeing a really, really big crash, because it's going to weed out the weak from the strong. We will rebound unless we go to war and America falls. We will rebound. That of course, these are all like political extremes. And if we do go to war, then money will be the least of our worries at that point. So think about this. Yeah, a bunch of people are over leveraged, buying real estate with their 401k money, invested in ETFs in the Dow, which is all tanking right now. Everything's tanking right now. Now, personally, I feel sad, but I'm really happy for this in the moment, because I'm making a shit ton of money right now as everything's dropping. And I try to help you guys and like tell you like I'm in options and stuff, but no one seems to actually be interested. So I kind of just shut up about it. But I'm telling you, dumps like this and anything, it doesn't matter if the market's consolidating, pumping, or dumping, as long as it's trending, and it's damn trending right now, you can literally make like so much money. I've made 50% in the last 2 weeks off of my portfolio. And I know it's nothing crazy, but the most I ever went down in risk with options was like 5%. I risked 5% to make 50. Anyways, yeah, so keep in mind, this could get a lot worse, okay? There's two sides of the coin, and that's why we need to see everything hit support by mid next week. If we're not bouncing by Wednesday of next week, this could be a serious problem for a lot of people, for our entire economy, for the next 2 years, probably. If we don't see a bounce next week and it continues to fall, because, oh God, that would apply a huge shift in everything. A bunch of people will get hurt. A bunch of people will make a lot of money. The best people right now, they have the skills to not only profit. There's so many ways to make money in this right now. But the best people right now are profiting the shit out of everyone else's unfortunate circumstance because they're losing all their money right now. But the best people with the skills, that's why learning day trading is literally such a blessing, are making so much goddamn money. They're making 9%, fuck 9%. When you're day trading, a 9% move in one day it's literally a 200% move. So you're taking big money. You're taking people's, that's just what you do when you trade stocks. You're leveraging a smaller amount of money or a bigger amount of money, but you're leveraging it to make a lot more money because there's so much more money being lost right now than being made in the markets. And it's a huge opportunity to get rich really fast. And I know you hear that all the time probably, but no, this is actual facts. It's like the Big Short movie. Literally, that's what's fucking happening right now. We're seeing the Big Short happen again. When was that? 2008? Bro, we're literally halfway there in how long? 5 days? A month? We're halfway from the Big Short, where Michael Burry made billions, and everyone else lost hundreds of billions. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of money to be made, and the only time it's going to start hitting support is when we start to see more buyers than sellers. So all the people who have the skills to make a shit ton of money right now will be able to buy it back up. And they will eventually. Until everyone stops selling and everyone's sold out, right? Now, keep in mind, that's why I love Dogelon Mars so much. And if you're a whale in Dogelon Mars and you're watching this is why I love you. And this is why everyone should love the whales, the people with a lot stake in this. Because every time it comes back down to around these 60 to $80 million market, no one's selling here. The whales that got in are literally not selling right here. And this is why I love the stability of this coin, because we have not seen it drop below. Let's just get an accurate reading here. We have not seen it drop below, literally like this 69 level in the last 4 years. We saw it drop like 67. So what I'm saying is, if the whales here, for the last 4 years, things have been really good, right? The last 4 years, so 2021. Yeah. See, we saw a little pump here, and then it started to dump, September. So let's go ahead and, that's the Dow. That's real estate. And this is important because if whales are leveraged into real estate right now, they'll have to dump their bags in order to pay for their shit. But if we're looking at January of 21, hold up, bro. We're not even here. January 20. Okay, let's look at January 22, because at this point it dumped and it started to recover, but there's still a lot of fear in the market at January 22. Let's go ahead and look at that. January of 22. We're coming off of all-time highs. You know what that means? Holy crap. It's inverse. It almost seems inverse because this thing pumped its butt off as the Dow Jones in the real estate market was tanking. Wait, March 21. No, I could be wrong. Wait, sorry. March 21. December 21. It hit its all-time high in November of 21. This is all important stuff. Okay. No, and the Dow also hit its all-time high in November of 21. Scratch that. So it does matter. It does matter. The Dow does correlate with this at the current moment. So as long as the whales keep holding, I really don't see Dogelon going to shit. But if the economy goes to shit and the whales are over leveraged, people with millions of dollars see better investment opportunities in other places and they get scared out. That's always a possibility, and that could lead us to all-time lows. If we do not catch support by mid next week, it can turn really bad. People will lose their shit. Now, if you're over leveraged in anything, shoot me an email. Maybe we can talk about something. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, but I can always give you my opinion on, what the best move is in the future. And of course, you don't have to take it. I advise you not to take it, but it might open your mind to a secondary opinion. So if you do have any questions, don't leave it in the comments, but instead email me, and I will get back to you with personalized advice. But please be specific. You don't have to, give your name or anything, but just be as specific as you can. Because I love you guys, and I want everyone on this channel to get rich as fuck. And I try to help you guys out as much as I can. Like, I hope you guys are making money. And I hope all of you who have bought in the day trade courses in the past are using those strategies right now. Because those strategies you can make so much money right now. It's an actual opportunity to make a shit ton. Like, this is where the money shifts. This is when people become rich. If you, not even rich, but this is where people double, triple, quadruple, and if you have the skills, 5, 6, 7x their shit. And with meme coins, that could be just the start. But you have to have the cash to invest in meme coins. This is with the money you don't really, the money that you can long shot with, right? But it's all about timing. Because if you pile in here at the right fucking time, this might pop off 100x in the future. Very possible. But if you tie your money up right now at the lows, and it takes this 2 years to pop off, but you could have been using that money to capitalize on this downward trend, and you would double or even triple that money by the time a year has gone by, then even if you got in at higher levels but you put more money in here, it will make more money. And yeah, that's where also we're heading, okay? So keep that in mind. Yeah, skills. You can be lazy. You can be a lazy investor, buy and hold. That's awesome too. But you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be chilling. You'll be comfortable. But you won't be like, holy fuck, I love life. I love life, and I want to just keep going. It will just be comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with being comfortable. I genuinely believe that. If you're comfortable and you're happy, hell yeah. But some people, like me, it's just never ending, man. You can never get enough, and that's a good thing because you can choose what to do with the money. Honestly, if you're a good person, there's a lot of people with money that are bad people losing their shit right now. And the money would be better off in your hands. And the only thing that's stopping you from getting that money is the skills that you have and the balls that you have right now. Because when everyone else is scared, that's when you go crazy. When everyone else is pulling back, an opportunity arises, and you must take advantage of it. Because when everything's good and great, the playing field is so much harder. When everything is hard, that's what separates people from being average, being decent, being good, being great, and being legendary. What do you want to be? Ask yourself. And there's no wrong answers. But just know it and internalize it and realize what you need to do to get there. Log those goals down and follow your freaking heart, okay? Follow your heart and follow your head. Your heart and your head may clash sometimes, and when it does, use your heart because you will never regret the decisions you make with your heart. as much as they might turn out to be complete shit, you won't regret it. I believe that, at least. What do you guys think? But there's always a really good mix between using your head and using your heart, you know? You can't just fully go into something with your heart. And there's also the devilish desires like lust and stuff like that. That's not your heart. That makes you believe it's your heart, but it's not your heart. Your heart is something where if you are, you know, in the hospital and you're thinking about life, you're like, I am so happy I went for it. Like, even if it failed, those are the decisions that you make with your heart. The things you make with your head are like, okay, Dogelon Mars is hitting all-time low support. This is a good buy. That's a head decision, like, easily. That's a mind decision. The heart decision is, okay, I have a lot of money right now. Would I regret it if I went all into Dogelon Mars because I believe it 100% and lost everything? Would I regret that? So for some people, heck yeah, that's way too much risk. But for others, no. And it depends on your risk tolerance and your skills, because not everyone will make it. But if you can just stay a little bit ahead of the curve, a little bit ahead of everyone else, because past decisions catch up to you. And a lot of people's past decisions right now, they didn't really think it all the way through. They didn't think about, what if this happens? And it's hard to actually do that most of the time. When you're in the first person point of view, I'm probably going to do that after this video, with my current stuff. But I'm going to write that down, actually. We can call that risk assess life. Risk assess life/career. But you always want to have the what's the worst that could possibly happen in the back of your mind, because most of the time it will happen. But a lot of people don't see that, right? And they're just kind of blindly following advice. And yeah, they're getting screwed right now. So anyways, this is almost a 30-minute video, and I think it's dope. I hope you guys I hope this helped you guys in some way or another. But let's keep our eyes on the market, because as much as it hurts, we live in a capitalist society, and in order for people to make money, someone else has to lose money, even though they're printing it every day. That's just how it works. So hone in your skills, get your mind right, get your schedule right, cut out the distractions, because right now we're seeing an opportunity we haven't seen since the COVID crash 5 years ago. I know it seems like yesterday, but that shit was 5 years